That sign is not coming. Yeah, started.
Recording is started.
Yeah, it started now. Now it's started.
Okay. So, good morning. Today we will start our new chapter called Magnetic Effect of Current, Electricity and Magnetism. So, I hope you have already learned something about magnetism in your lower classes. And also, you must have learned some relationship between electricity and magnetism in your grade 10. Until around 18,000, it was thought that magnetism is a totally different subject and electricity is a totally different subject. Magnetism dealt with bar magnets, and Earth itself acts as a magnet. Therefore, the navigators used magnetic needle while they traveled to know the north and south direction. So it was thought as a completely different subject. But in 1819, what happened is a scientist called Oersted conducted an experiment that shows electric current can produce magnetic field. And a new branch which combined both electricity and magnetism emerged. So now electricity and magnetism are not two different branches. It is one single branch of physics. So in this chapter, we will be learning the magnetic field produced by the current and expression for that through Biot-Savart law. And we will see a totally new concept called Hall effect. And we will derive a lot of equations here, including the equation for force and torque on a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field. And we will also know the magnetic properties of different materials. And then we will also consider Earth's magnetism. So this is a large chapter. Okay, so let us start with Oersted's experiment. So Oersted conducted this experiment in 1808. And what did he use for these experiments? He used a battery or a cell, and it was connected through a wire, and there was a switch. And in addition to this current carrying conductor, he used a magnetic compass. What is the purpose of magnetic compass? What will the magnetic compass do?
It will detect the magnetic
Field, yes. We
Yes.
are on Earth, right? The Earth itself has some magnetic field. So what will be the direction in which a magnetic compass will stand if no other magnetic devices, no other material is surrounding it?
north, south.
Downward.
It will point in the northward and southward direction, right? Now, what happens if we bring a bar magnet near to it? It will deflect. So the north pole of the bar magnet will attract the south of the magnetic compass. So this is the property of a magnetic needle. It is a very thin magnet which can rotate freely about a point. So if any substance carrying a magnetic field is brought near to it, it will deflect. Now what Oersted did was he closed the switch. So current is flowing. And then he observed that the magnetic field deflected. What does that show?
There is a magnetic field.
Yeah, that shows that there is a magnetic field, but there was no bar magnets nearby. So what could have produced that magnetic field? The only chance is
The electricity.
the electric current that flowed through the conductor must have produced that magnetic field. And this property is called the magnetic effect of current. What is meant by magnetic effect of current? Khadija, can you tell me what is magnetic effect of current?
When current is flown through a conductor, a magnetic field is created around it. This is called
This
magnetic effect of.
This is called magnetic effect of current, and it was experimentally verified by the scientist named Oersted in 1890. Now, when he did this experiment, he also verified more details regarding the magnetic field produced. He found that when the electric current is passed through a wire, a magnetic needle kept near it got deflected, which means a magnetic field must have produced. Then what he did was he switched the battery. Can you see what is the difference here in these two circuits? What difference can you see in these two circuits?
The plus and minus sign.
Yeah, the plus and minus sign change, which means he flipped the battery. Okay, so what will happen to the current flowing through the conductor?
The direction will change.
Yes, the direction of current changes. So what happened to the deflection when the direction of current is reversed?
Attraction.
The deflection also reversed. So if the direction of current is reversed, he saw that the magnetic needle deflected in opposite direction, which means the direction of the magnetic field produced also will change. So the direction of the magnetic field produced depends upon the direction in which the current is flowing. That is one thing which he verified. And also he changed the amount of current, and he found that if the current is increased, the deflection of the needle also increases, which means more current is flowing through the conductor, stronger is the magnetic field produced. So by increasing the strength of the current, you can increase the strength of the magnetic field. Now, he did one more thing, keeping the direction of the current same. If the conductor is placed above the needle, then the direction of rotation of the needle will be opposite to that when the conductor is placed above. So where the needle is placed, if it is placed above the conductor, and if the north pole deflects eastward, and if it is placed below, the north pole will be deflecting westwards. So even if you place the needle at different positions with respect to the conductor, what happens? The deflection will be in different directions. So what are the factors on which the deflection of the magnetic field or the deflection of the needle depend? Can you tell me on which factors the deflection? Can you tell from these three observations on which factors the amount of magnetic field will depend?
The direction of current.
The direction of current, yes. The magnetic field produced will change with the direction of current, yes. And then?
And
also the amount of
current.
Yeah, also with the amount of current. If the current is increased, what happens? More magnetic field will be produced. That is why the magnetic needle deflected more. Okay, is that clear to you, the experimental arrangement made by Oersted and what he concluded from them? Is there any doubt?
no, teacher.
Okay, so let me move to the next one. So already the connection between the magnetic field and electric current is made. Now, what causes electric current? What causes electric current?
Flow of electron.
Flow of charge. So now they studied what will be the force acting upon a charge which is moving when it is placed in a magnetic field. They found that a current carrying current can produce a magnetic field. So there is a relation. Now, they wanted to know what the effect will be there on a moving charge or a current if it is placed in a magnetic field. So they are going to learn the force acting upon the current carrying conductor or on just a moving charge which is placed in a magnetic field. You already have learned in electrostatics, on a stationary charge placed in an electric field, it experiences a force, and F is equal to QE. What is Q? What is
Charge.
charge, and what is
Charge.
E? What is E? You must have used this many times in
Electron.
Yes? I didn't hear. E is electric field.
Field.
Yes, E is electric field. So you have already learned that if a charge is there stationary, then there will be a force experienced by a charge if it is kept in an electric field. Now, suppose you are keeping a moving charge in a magnetic field. Magnetic field is expressed by the letter B. So you have a moving charge in a magnetic field, then they found that it also experiences a force. And the force so experienced is directly proportional to the magnitude of the charge, which is expressed by Q. What is the unit of charge? SI unit of charge?
Coulomb.
Coulomb. And it also depends on or is directly proportional to the velocity V of the charge, and also proportional to the magnitude of the magnetic field, which is expressed by the letter B. Have you before used this letter B to express magnetic field? Is it new to you? Maybe it is new to you. So I don't know why they use this letter B. There is no direct relevance which I can see. So it is expressed by the letter B. Okay, so B means magnetic field. Now it also depends upon the sign of the angle between the direction of velocity of the charge and the direction of the magnetic field. You must be knowing the values of sine theta for particular values of theta. What is the value of sine 0? What is the value of sine 0?
0.
0. And what is the value of sine 90?
1.
1. And what is the maximum value sine theta can have?
1.
1. So the maximum value sine theta can have is 1. That is when theta is equal to 90 degree. We will be requiring these concepts when we discuss further. So we saw that the force acting upon a charged particle moving in a magnetic field depends upon Q, V, B and sine theta. Or in vector terms, it can be expressed as F is equal to Q into V cross B. You have learned cross product, right? What is cross product of two vectors A and B? What is A cross B? A cross B is equal to
B sine theta.
AB sine theta. So they have told Q into V cross B, which is equal to QVB sine theta. That is why they told force is directly proportional to charge, velocity of the charge, the magnetic field B, and also sine of the angle theta between V and B. Velocity is a vector, you know that. Magnetic field B is also a vector. Force is also a vector. Q, charge, is it a vector? Is charge a
I guess.
vector?
Scalar, right?
It is a scalar quantity. Even if there is positive and negative charge, it doesn't obey the vector laws of addition. So it is a scalar quantity. So you have the vector formula, which you have to remember. Force acting upon a charged particle moving in a magnetic field is equal to Q into V cross B. Now let me ask you one thing. What if the charge is stationary? Will there be a force acting on it due to the magnetic field? If a charge is just staying stationary at rest in the presence of a magnetic field, what will be the force acting on it?
F.
What will be? If the
QE.
force, I didn't hear you, Khadija. What will be the force?
Think
Okay. So what will be the velocity if a particle is not moving?
0.
0. So what will be the force? Q into 0 into B sin. 0. So no force will act on the particle. No magnetic force will act on the particle if it is not moving. So if it is stationary, only electric force will act. Only if the charged particle is moving, a magnetic force will act on it. So that is first point to be noted. Now suppose if the particle is moving in the same direction as the magnetic field. So what will be theta, the angle between magnetic field and velocity? If the particle
0.
is 0, so what will be the force acting on it?
1. No.
QV B.
Theta will be equal to
QV
0.
0. So what will be sine 0?
1.
0.
0. So what will be the force? 0. Sine 0 is multiplied to this quantity. So force will become 0. So second chance for the force to be 0 is if the particle is moving in the direction of the magnetic field. Now suppose the charged particle is moving opposite to the direction of the magnetic field. What is the angle between velocity and magnetic field if it is traveling opposite to
90.
Negative.
180?
0.
180
180. Yeah.
direction, magnetic field is in opposite direction. So the total angle between them will be 180. What is sine 180?
0.
0. So what will be the force acting?
0.
0. So there are three cases. Even if the charged particle is there in the magnetic field, it will not experience any force. First case, when it is stationary. Second case, if it is moving in the direction of the magnetic field. Third case, when it is moving opposite to the direction of magnetic field. Now, if it is moving in any other direction, it will experience a force. Now, when will it experience maximum force?
When it is perpendicular.
Yes. When the velocity or the charged particle is moving perpendicular to the magnetic field, then it will experience maximum force, because then theta will be equal to 90 degree. Sine 90 is 1. So the maximum force experienced by the charged particle is QV into B. Okay. Now let us find out what is the direction of the force. So direction of the force is determined by the charge and also the vector product of velocity and magnetic field. When you studied the vector product, you must have learned how to find the direction of a vector product. So you can either use your right hand rule. Here you have to use your right hand. If you use the left hand, it will go wrong. So use your right hand. Now, if your fingers curl from V to B along the smallest angle, see, the fingers curl from velocity to B because it is V cross B. If it was B cross B, you will have to curl your fingers from B to V. Okay, that is a different case. So see, the order is important. It should be V cross B. So to find the direction of the force, you have to take your right hand and curl the fingers from V to B along the smallest angle. Then the thumb will point in the direction of the force for a positive charge. What will be the case for a negative charge?
Opposite direction.
Yeah, it will be in the opposite. So in this case, if it is upwards for a positive charge, if it was a negative charge, for example, an electron, the force will be downwards, or the electron will move downwards. Is that clear? So in order to find the direction, either you can use this right hand rule, or sometimes called the right hand screw rule, which states that if the right hand screw is placed perpendicular to a plane containing the velocity and magnetic field, and it is rotated at smaller angle from V to B. Why is it called smaller angle? Here see, there are two vectors U and V. This is the smaller angle. Okay. What will be the larger angle? The other one from here to here. Suppose this angle is, say, 100 degree. What will be this angle? What will be the larger angle between them?
260.
260.
260.
That is 360 minus 100. So always you have to consider the smaller angle. Okay. So V to B, you have to go along the smaller angle. So when you turn the screw, right hand screw along the smaller angle, it will advance in the direction of the vector product, or it will advance in the direction of the magnetic fields. If these two vectors were V and B, velocity and magnetic field, this picture shows the case of any two vectors. So if those vectors were V and magnetic field, then upwards means the screw will advance upwards. So you can find the direction of the force experienced by the magnetic field by the right hand screw rule. If a right hand screw is placed perpendicular to a plane containing the velocity V and magnetic field B, and it is rotated at smaller angle from V to B, then the direction of advancement of the screw will indicate the direction of magnetic force exerted on a positive charge. And as South said, if it was a negative charge, it will be in the opposite direction. Okay. So let me ask this. Ronnie, can you tell me what are the factors on which the force, magnetic force on a moving charge depend? Ronnie?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, tell me what are the factors on which the magnetic force on a moving charge depend? You can see them here.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Fahima, tell me what are the factors on which the magnetic force depends? Fahima. The internet is not proper. Okay, Rifat, tell me what is the factors on which the magnetic force depends?
The magnitude of the charge,
Yeah.
the velocity of the charge, the magnitude of the magnetic field, the sign of the angle theta.
Sign of the angle between velocity and magnetic field. Okay. So these are the factors. Now what is the equation to find the force acting upon the charged particle moving in a magnetic field? Can Sajidul tell me what is the equation
What is the equation?
to find the force acting upon a charged particle? moving in a magnetic field. On the screen.
No,
Okay,
teacher.
reporter.
F equal to QV into B.
No, QV cross B. Okay,
Oh, cross. Okay, okay.
you cannot tell this as QV into B. So better learn this formula. F is equal to QVB sine theta. So this is the formula you can memorize. If you can't memorize that cross sign, you have to memorize this formula. F is equal to QVB sine theta. So tomorrow I will ask you what is the force, what are the factors on which it depends, what is the force. So you have to tell me this equation. I will also ask you the situations where the force will become zero. Hasina, can you tell me what are the situations under which the force will become zero? Yes, Hasina, tell me, what are the situations under which the force acting on a moving charge in a magnetic field becomes zero?
When the sign is 180 degree.
Yeah, how will you tell that in terms in practical terms?
We
Yes, South, can you help her? Tell me what are the situations in which the force will become zero?
When the direction of the field and the electron are in the same direction,
And the velocity are in the same direction. Yes, one
and
condition.
also in the opposite direction when they are
Opposite.
both and the third one is when the sign is
Yeah, you told both conditions, they are correct. The first one is that if the charge is not moving, that means the velocity is zero. Okay, so these are the three conditions. So if the charge particle is moving in the direction of magnetic field, opposite to that, or if it is stationary. So in the direction or opposite to it can also be called parallel. So if the charge particle is parallel to the moving parallel to the magnetic field, then the force acting upon it is zero. So I will ask all these questions tomorrow. Now let us go into more detail of that. See, you have already learned in electrostatics that if a charged particle is placed in an electric field, it will experience a force Q into E, where Q is charge, E is electric field. So this is called the electric field. And the electric field is straightforward. It is in the direction of the electric field if charge Q is positive, but in the direction, but it will be opposite direction if the charge Q is negative. Here you can see electric field plus minus. These produce the electric field. So the direction of the electric field is from plus charge to minus charge, like you can see here. And this is a positive charge which is placed in the electric field. So it will move in the direction of the electric field. So along E. And also if it is a negative charge, it will go opposite to the direction of the electric field. So Q into E is the force due to an electric field on a charged particle. So it is called electric force. Now we studied that if the charged particle is moving with a velocity v in the magnetic field B, then it will experience a force Q into V cross B or QVB sine theta. And this will depend upon the vector product. So if it is north to south and this is the magnetic field, the magnetic force of magnitude QVB sine theta will be perpendicular to both B and V. So always when we take the corkscrew rule, we found that the screw will advance in the direction perpendicular to V and B. So always the vector product will have a result which is perpendicular to both of these vectors. So the direction of force will be perpendicular to both velocity and magnetic field. Suppose a charged particle is moving in a place where both electric field and magnetic field is present. So what will be the total force? The total force will be that due to the electric field QE plus that due to the magnetic field Q into V cross P. So this total force is called the Lorentz force. So what is Lorentz force? The resultant force with which a charged particle, the resultant force which a moving charge experience at a place where both electric and magnetic fields simultaneously exist is called Lorentz force. Why do we call it a resultant force, not the total force? Where do we use this? Yeah, because
Direction of
vector. So instead of total, we use the word resultant. And moving charge. Why did we tell it is a moving charge? Why did we specify that? Yes.
If the
stationary.
charge is not,
If the charge is
if
not
the charge
moving,
is not moving, then there will be no magnetic force.
yes. If the charge is not moving, then there will be no magnetic force. And one more condition is that both electric and magnetic field should simultaneously exist. So it should exist at the same time. So can anyone of you tell me what is Lorentz force? Saika, tell me what is Lorentz force? Saika is there in the class, right? Yes, tell me what is Lorentz force. You can see that. You can read from here.
She is not there, teacher.
She's absent today? Okay, Bibi, tell me what is Lorentz force?
The resultant force which a moving charge experience at a place where both electric and magnetic field simultaneously exist is called Lorentz force.
Okay, I'll ask this tomorrow, okay? And here I have mentioned again the special cases where force will be equal to 0. If the charge is stationary, velocity is 0, so the magnetic force is 0. And if theta is 0 degree or 180 degree, which means the charge moves parallel to the magnetic field, either in the direction of magnetic field or opposite to magnetic field, sine theta will be 0. So the magnetic force will be 0. Now, if theta is equal to 90 degree, which means the velocity and the magnetic field are perpendicular as shown in this figure, then the force is maximum. Here, what does this plus sign mean?
positive direction.
Yes, it's the positive charge, and minus sign means a negative charge. So here, in which direction will the charge particle move, or in which direction will the force move? Take your right hand, curl your fingers looking at the screen and tell me whether the force will be out of the screen or into the screen. Take your right hands. Now in this chapter, you will be using your right and left hands. So it's not only theory, mental exercise, it's some exercise for your hands too. Take your right hand, curl your fingers from V to B along the smaller angle. Tell me whether the force acting upon that positive charge will be into the screen or out of the screen.
Out.
Which hand did you take south?
Sorry, in.
Okay, if it is not out, it will be in, right? You have to take the right hand, okay? If you take the left hand, it will go wrong. Take the right hand, point it towards the screen, try to curl your fingers from V to B along the smaller angle, which is from here to here. So your thumb will point inwards into the screen, right? So the positive charge will move into the screen. Who can tell me in which direction will, if it was an electron moving there, so in which direction will it move? Or which direction it will experience force?
Out.
Outwards, which is opposite to the direction of the force experienced by magnetic field. Is this clear to you?
Yes.
Okay. So I will just revise what we have learned today, and then we will go to the next one, next topic, that is magnetic field, tomorrow. So today we